Armada continues. I need to know.
Welcome to Synergy Bonus, and if you are new here, welcome to the first time. If not, welcome back. We have Vigarax, the Spoony Paladin, and I am Thrick, the Permanent Captive.
Yes.
And like any good 4-man RPG, this is our Sid.
Yes.
However, he does not have an airship for us to use.
He does not. He has tuna breath and likes to clean things, as you can see.
He is also an alley cat that will get into shit that he's not supposed to.
He is also my good luck charm when playing Overwatch. Isn't that right, Sid?
Where is Pumpkin?
This is how Sid becomes the most popular character on our program.
Right. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about
Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, not to be confused with the Game Boy version, Belmont's
Revenge.
Yeah. Or if you're from Japan.
If you're from Japan.
Jeez.
Trav has been drinking a little bit.
I'm the one who's actually drunk.
This was Dracula 2, Seal of a Curse.
Technically it's Demon Castle Dracula 2.
The Seal of the Curse. Released in 1988 in America, 1987 in Japan. So Konami title, as are all Castlevania games to date.
Yes.
Except for Haunted Castle?
No, maybe. We'll have to look at that later.
This is the second entry in the Castlevania series, and the one that kind of sort of laid the groundwork for the exploration Metroidvania titles to come.
I found Metroidvania is an actual thing. Especially on Steam.
It's a trope.
You can go, I want Metroidvania.
It started on TV tropes as a description of Metroid and going after Symphony of the Night, Castlevania style games, and it's just
this man has way too many cats.
That's 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
I have to
let the internet hate come. There's no such thing as too many cats.
I have to kidnap Elmdor. He is my vassal.
Yes.
Oh, real quick, a super aside. The cats have never come up in any of the videos. You might have seen them walking around. They're all named after Final Fantasy Tactics characters. So
Elmdor, Sid.
No one.
Technically, his name should be Sidolphus, but
his name is TG Sid. Technically,
Elmdor, Sid, Alma, and Ovella.
Yep.
And then there was
Tango, which had to be Mega Man. But anyways, so Castlevania. I almost said Castlevania 4 because we were talking about that.
No.
Castlevania 2 gets a lot of flack for what it is because it's such a departure from the original in the series.
But it experimented in a lot of ways, and some good came of it and some bad came of it, and there were some localization issues because this was the 80s.
This was before Woolsey.
Yeah. In this, you once again take the role of Simon Belmont, the vampire hunter, scion of the Belmont family.
This is before Trevor, too.
Well, no.
Still the scion. Screw Trevor.
Before Trevor, it was even conceived. Well, mentally conceived.
Sorry, it's a lore joke. It works on several levels.
Yes, it does.
I think we just broke
Greg is just broken.
No! Trevor was conceived before Scion by
Simon the Scion.
So anyway, our hero, Trevor. Wow.
Simon.
And I'm the drunk one.
Who's in the challenge, Simon? Take the Simon challenge, Simon.
Simon says, bop it.
We're taking the Simon challenge and we can't get it right, apparently. So, anyway, Simon has
Not to be confused with that guy from, what was it, Captain N, the Game Master.
With Simone. We'll go with Simone as his own pronunciation because that is a different character.
Simon has been cursed by Dracula.
As of the end of their final encounter in Castlevania 1, and he now has 8 days to break the curse. Of course, nowhere in the game does it tell you have 8 days.
Yeah, the game has an actual...
That game has a day-night
time
cycle.
limit.
About an hour, I think it is.
Right, it literally is a case of you have 8 in-game days to get the good ending.
Right.
After that, you get the
neutral
ending where you break the curse, but not in time, and Simon still dies. And then
the bad curse where Simon just dies.
And if you take way too long, like most people in their first playthrough, you get the bad ending where Simon just dies and Dracula is resurrected, and I think they missed a golden opportunity with the larger Dracula universe and timeline that they could have branched off 3 branches here.
Alternate
Alternate
timelines.
timelines.
Don't give Konami ideas.
They're not Zelda.
But they could have been.
They could have been.
It's also
Anyways.
Konami, and they've dropped the ball so bad lately that don't give them ideas.
Yes, we're looking forward to Bloodstain now.
Yes.
But anyways, Castlevania 2, like I said, got a lot of flack because it was such a departure from the original. AVGN
In the
touched
first,
on it.
yeah. In the first one, you're wandering around the actual castle of Castlevania, Dracula's Castle, which is a recurring theme for most of the rest of the series. I think Order of Ecclesia has you with an overworld.
But yeah.
Um,
This year, it's Wallachia, right?
It is
Wallachia.
Wallachia. It's Wallachia, and you're
It's
prowling
the
around
province
Wallachia.
of Romania.
Yeah, and you have to visit these 5 mansions where 4 of Dracula's body parts and the Holy Cross have been stashed away so that you can resurrect Dracula to kill him again to break the curse.
Why Dracula just doesn't curse him again? Beyond me. But,
Because freshly resurrected, he doesn't have all his power.
I suppose
That's why you
true.
have to beat him while he's resurrecting rather than when he's had power to reign for a while.
And also, this is still going back in the era where Dracula is generally only coming back every 100 years, so if you force him to resurrect, he's not at his power.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then Dracula is being woken up every 20 years and somehow is at his full power.
Well, the rituals or something.
Yeah,
Probably.
I don't know.
Because it
Metal
wouldn't
Gear.
be a good final boss if he was,
I don't know, Konami.
Anyways, as Trav pointed out, the game lies to you because of localization. Well, the localization...
Well, step back.
I'm always taking a step back because I want to get the story out.
You want to get the story out and you skip pertinent things that our viewers might not know. According to interviews with the designers of the game, in the original Japanese version, because Simon is cursed, all of the NPCs lie to you deliberately. So all of the clues are wrong, and eventually you're going to pick up on whatever the NPCs tell you. You got to do something else, do the opposite or whatever.
Except for this tree in the woods is on fire.
In the English localization, a lot of the lying is taken out. But a lot of it was replaced with nonsensical gibberish or just stuff that's completely irrelevant. So you don't wind up getting the hints. Notoriously, there's a town where a person tells you that to advance, you need to strike your head against Deborah Cliff. There's no headbutt or anything to do like that. What you're supposed to do is actually get this item that's the red crystal, and you kneel, and a tornado comes and carries you off to the next man.
As a little kid, I don't know how I figured that out. I think it was like those things that kids whispered. It's like, oh, if you do this, our tornado comes. No, it won't. And then
If you do this, Eris will be alive.
and then you go home and you try it, and it's like, holy shit, there's the tornado.
This tree in this forest is on fire. Yeah.
In
if
the
you're-
Japanese version, there's another guy who tells you a lie, and at this point, you're supposed to figure out that, you do the opposite. And he's telling, and that guy's dialogue was not put into the American version, so there's no helpful hint to tell you what to actually do.
You just come to
Remembering
a
the
dead
one-
end, basically.
There's like one section where they're actually telling you the truth, that this specific tree, they leave out that you need already the upgraded whip to its final form. You go to that tree, do something, you get the freaking vampire killer whip at that point.
Yep.
But all they say is, this tree is on fire.
It's a bad translation.
Congratulations, the tree's on fire. The fire forest is going to burn down.
And this game, like, hearts in the original were used as sub-weapon ammo. Hearts in this are used as money, currency to buy
Hi, Zelda.
your sub-weapons.
To buy your sub weapons, to
Upgrades
upgrade your
to your
sub
whip.
weapons, to buy upgrades to your whip. Basically, you
Thorn
can
whip.
buy. Basically, once you've found a sub weapon, you can buy it in a lot of places. The exception being the magical items that you get off of
Clearing one of the dungeons.
Clearing-
Like Dracula's body parts.
Dracula's body parts, like Dracula's nail, can be used as, or no, I'm sorry, not the nail. The rib can be
The
used
rib,
as a
the
shield,
eye.
as a shield. If you have the eye equipped, it actually shows you where all of the hidden items are as you're wandering around, including like the little diary entries in the wall, which are legitimate clues stuff, or where all the hidden roast beef and pot roast are, and so on.
Delicious wall meat.
I don't know. I think Simon with the shield and the whip. That's actually kind of badass.
I love
just the visual is just really cool.
It's a really suboptimal combination from the
really
3D
is.
aspect.
Yeah, but it's still cool looking.
Yeah.
Speaking of Simon and how cool looking he is, they featured him on the second issue of Nintendo Power. And,
which led to the next controversy. They had an actor dressed up as Simon holding Dracula's severed head. And I'm sure we'll have a picture of it here at some point.
Yeah, it's a very classic.
Also, seeing as Nintendo Power is defunct, we can now freely use it.
It's issue number 2 of Nintendo Power, and is wildly heralded as Nintendo themselves said this is our worst cover to this magazine of all time. They addressed it in like issue 50 or something.
Yeah, NP50.
They had so many complaints because it just creeped out and freaked out so many little kids, and so many parents called and wrote to complain and canceled subscriptions. It was crazy.
That's issue number 2.
Issue number 2.
Before,
and it's a really good picture too.
It is. I like it a lot.
Could have been worse. Could have been the Secret of Evermore cover.
But also Castlevania 2, I think some of the artwork from it is actually inspired by Ravenloft. Like there's a picture of Strahd on the balcony, and they have Dracula. It's almost like you can overlay.
It's an artwork that was actually paid for Ravenloft, and it kind of got murked.
It does have some controversy for some character designs in every other iteration.
Iteration, iteration, it's both valid. But they're equally cromulent words.
There you go.
I thought you were going to booze again.
No, I said I had to stop drinking.
Simon is usually portrayed as having like this leather hauberk and it's almost gladiatorial looking suit, and he's usually depicted as being
very barbarian-esque.
Very barbarian-esque. In this one, he's got
chainmail.
The sprite. He's got this red tunic and these black leggings and these elbow length. They almost look like riding gloves.
But
and this jet black hair.
The thing is,
unless you look at the box art, which is this guy in this red and blue weird armor with this shock of blonde hair. And it's like, that's where they got the Captain and the Game Master guy. There he is.
Simone.
But I really, really like Simon's sprite in this. It's very
gorgeous
nice.
Sprite.
Doesn't look like he's going to poop his pants, though.
It's a huge departure from that neon orange sprite you have in Castlevania 1 and Castlevania 3.
Yeah, because they go back to it in 3.
Which a lot of the hardcore fans of the series prefer. I love Simon's Quest 2.
I like Simon's Quest as well, but 3 is still...
No, I meant the sprite.
Oh, the sprite, okay.
Sprite. I would... If you could... Somebody hack me around where I've got the Simon's Quest 2 sprite in Castlevania 1 and 3, and I will be a happy guy.
I would just love to see an updated version of Castlevania 2 with the proper Metroidvania, the proper translation, and prettied up graphics. You don't have to do the...
Simon's Quest remastered. That would be kind of...
You don't have to do like a 3D thing.
They've already remastered like the Castlevania 3 sprites for Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. I would love to just see that. Even like Rondo of Blood, they actually go back to some of the towns that are featured in Castlevania 2. I know this for a fact. And like even that looks good. So I would just love to see even a 16
criticism of the game. The color scale.
The color scale. It's
like
for everything else in the game, it's a very, very bland game. I get that it's supposed to be dreary.
It's supposed to be dreary and dark and horror.
But like the towns at night, it's just like a blue, purple, or a red.
During the day, the towns are very.
Oh, there's a gray town too.
There's a gray town. They're very monochromatic towns. Here's the red town. Here's the gray town. Here's the green town. Which is weird because when you're like in the dungeons or when you're in the forest, there's a lot of vibrant colors and they're very dark and very grim, but there's a broad scale of dark and grim colors. But again, the towns are almost monochromatic. Like the churches literally are grayscale. The only splash of color is Simon.
Even the nun in there that refills your life,
or priest, depending on the town.
Yeah,
It's a priest in a long
technically they'd be Eastern Orthodox. They'd be wearing Eastern Orthodox attire.
It's that long ankle length.
The
frock.
Final area of the game is an abandoned church.
No, the final area of the game is actually
the
ruins of the castle.
Oh, see, I always
got this weird black and white thing.
I always got the impression that it was like a church or something.
No, it's supposed to be the ruins of Castlevania, which is Castle Bran.
Yep.
Like, so it just didn't translate well, I suppose.
It was also back in that point where, the Americans will buy it.
But like I do like going down through there and getting to the altar to put the things down to fight Dracula, which Dracula almost looks like the Grim Reaper in this.
No, that was the death fight right before it, which is
Which brings us to critique number 4.
I don't know. There's a lot of critiques to this game.
Boss fights are rare and super easy. This is by far the easiest Dracula fight in the series.
Toss the garlic on the ground.
On the central altar. Just stand in the corner and die.
Dracula dies.
Yep.
Death is very slow.
Death is very slow compared to any other game. And then there's the phantasmal face.
It's Camilla.
But
doesn't
here's
make
the
sense
thing.
because Camilla the Blood Countess wouldn't occur for another 300 years.
Yeah. Here's the thing. On Camilla and the Grim Reaper, there's no gates or anything that close. You can just walk through, stake the orb, get the item or get the piece of Dracula,
and continue on.
Walk back through, never fight him. Now you miss out. You don't get the daggers and the dagger upgrades if you do that. But you ultimately don't need them because this is the game of the holy water.
Mm-hmm. And garlic.
Well, the holy water isn't as good as it is in 1 and 3.
No, but you're going to constantly have it because it's...
Chuck it because it's like, there's
downward,
invisible holes.
Yeah.
And
constantly check it for invisible holes. It's got the downward thing. It's the most energy efficient of the items.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dagger fan, so...
Yeah. And on top of that, it's what takes out the hidden walls and stuff so you get your delicious wall meat.
Yeah. I mean...
And you get food poisoning.
So you're going to spend most of the game using
holy water. Basically.
Yep.
I mean, the game, it really does have flaws, but...
the other stuff is useful in a utilitarian sense. Like, the laurels are nice. They make you temporary and vulnerable.
To
anything.
The swamp.
But you need them to cross the swamp. We've already mentioned the utility of the garlic. You just drop it and monsters die, including boss monsters. The diamond, once you figure out how to frickin' aim it, and you realize that you don't have a whole lot of shots because it's not very energy efficient. It's actually the second... it's actually the weapon that I used the first time I beat Dracula before I realized that you could just set the garlic down. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have the axe.
Nope. Actually. Nope.
The axe has always been a weird weapon, though.
Hit or miss.
This game's music, compared to the other Castlevania games, there's not a lot of music to it.
You steal your tongue.
Hold on. There's not a lot of music to it. But it did give us...
The game has 33 tracks.
Castlevania 2 does not have 33 tracks.
Sure?
I am like 100% sure. It's probably got like 6 to 9 tracks, if even. You've got town music.
Yep.
Daylight.
Yep.
Nighttime.
Yep.
Castlevania 2 OST.
The mansion. And then it's got the Castlevania
title screen.
Hold on. Castlevania, that's the in-game stuff. It's got your ending music and then your title screen.
Password screen.
The same as the title screen.
I don't think so.
So that's like 7. Yeah, that's the title screen. So it's like 7, 8 tracks. Yes, we are butchering this. But
we're making a mockery, but that's what editing is for. So, well, but it is the introduction of such things like it's the first time we hear classic tracks like Bloody Tears is the
Bloody
first
Tears,
one.
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it was a couple of others, but that was the big one. Bloody Tears. Dance of the Monsters was never really used.
Okay. Archive.org/detail.
Greg's checking this here. Maybe. I don't know.
Silence of Daylight, 10. Bloody Tears, daytime.
2.
Monsters Dance, nighttime.
3.
Dwelling of Doom, mansion. Within these castle walls, Dracula's castle.
5.
Final boss, Dracula.
6.
Game over. Message of Darkness, password screen. A Requiem, ending.
There are 9 tracks.
9 tracks. 5.
40-some tracks.
40-some
My
tracks.
ass. I'm sorry, Trav. Compared to the other games, this is really lacking the music department. It is catchy, but it is lacking.
It laid the groundwork for the music for the rest of the series.
Nothing's going to top, for me, Castlevania 3 and Symphony of the Night in terms of music.
Rondo of Blood, Symphony of Night.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I mean,
I just like that entire series.
I do like the RPG elements. They could have been refined.
There's a lot of grind in this game. Both because when you die, you lose all of your hearts. So if you're grinding trying to afford the, whatever it is, like 800 hearts for that chain whip that you need.
So you can go to that tree that is on fire.
No, you need the actual fully upgraded flame whip for that.
No, that's how you get the flame whip.
Sorry, the Morning Star for that, not the chain whip,
Because that's the vampire killer that's on fire.
Yeah. And it's a fantastic whip, and it's probably the best way to beat Death and Camilla.
Unless you just walk through the fucking room.
You don't need it for Dracula.
You don't. It's sad. You don't need the vampire killer for Dracula.
For the vampire, yeah.
Leon, you killed your wife for no reason.
But Leon wasn't
Put some
conceived
garlic on the
yet.
pedestal, Leon, see?
Leon wasn't conceived either.
Yep.
The only Belmont that was there.
That's because we retconned Sonia out of existence.
She wasn't conceived either.
She's Simon's mom.
They don't mention it in the game.
Because she was retconned out of existence.
God damn it, Konami! Stop with this shit.
Castlevania.
You pachinko
Conception.
game-making fuckers.
Yep.
Castlevania Conception.
Yeah,
Now coming soon.
Yeah, the first two Castlevania
Oh god, Conception was a bad game.
Game Boy games starred Sonia Belmont, Simon's mother, canonically.
After, like, Castlevania 3.
Right.
And she
wasn't
was
conceived yet.
Alucard's lover.
Yes.
Oh.
So actually makes
Bad fan fiction.
after Trevor Belmont
Apparently
officially
very good games, but terrible fanfiction.
after freaking Trevor Belmont, basically the Belmont line following that continuity were damned fears, which is why they're so
They're
efficient.
vampire hunters.
Which I kind of like it better the way it is now, though,
Yep.
when they have the Belendes family blood in there. So you got that magical element.
Well, even then, you're going back to Leon and the whole pact that he made.
True. But, like, once Trevor and Sypha hook up and Who Stays Born, the magic's in the blood.
Which, who stays isn't who stay after Simon?
Maybe.
Who stay is Richter's grandfather.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah, who stays way later on, based off his style of
I
clothing.
thought he was after.
It's very much a 17th century style dress. Who stay, from what I can remember, is Richter's grandfather. Whereas Richter is supposed to be the most powerful Belmont to date.
I know it's been done before, but we're going to do it again. We'll do a Castlevania timeline.
I'm doing it right now.
We'll actually do it.
So I can put
episode.
together the Castlevania family tree.
We'll put together the family tree. We'll do a little mini episode if we have to. So,
Oh, we're already coming up on 25.
Oh, I'm already
Editing
on
notwithstanding, so.
anyways, Castlevania 2, love it, hate it, let us know. It's an okay
gameplay
game.
elements, it's fantastic. It has that classic Castlevania slight delay on the whip, so you have to be a little more tactical in your thing. Jumping is cool.
Jumping has
Christopher
always been a
Nolan.
problem in
Yeah,
Castlevania. But please, let us know what your thoughts are on this. This answer will come at a different time. So
We will get that.
Translation, Doug was wrong. I did it.
but no, we're going to do a whole episode on this.
Sure.
So have a good night. Let us know your thoughts. Leave comments below.
Good night and good gaming.